What's up, guys? Thank you so much for checking us out tonight. I am here with Sean for another Nova Open preview. Sean is going to be leading some amazing seminars at the Nova Open this year. So, Sean, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself?
My name is Sean McAfee. I go by Brush for Hire pretty much everywhere online. I've gone by Brush for Hire online for almost 20 years, which has become a double-edged sword because people recognize Brush for Hire, but they never recognize my name in person. So I have to like show them a picture of what I do, and I go, "Oh yeah, no, I know what you did there." So, but I'm a full-time commission painter. I've recently taken that on almost a year ago now. I've done commission work for almost 20 years already, but through different circumstances and stuff like that, I decided to just go full bore commission painting. Bought my own studio building that I work out of to do this streaming on Twitch, all my commission work during the day. Treat it just like a regular full-time job, and then some, honestly. And then really just wanting to focus more on becoming an instructor, getting to do seminars and teach people this, because it's not just a job, it's really a passion, and really want to share that passion with other people anyway, in every way I can. So this is just kind of where I'm at right now.
Okay, that's fantastic. So it sounds like you're bringing a ton of experience to the table with your commission projects and with what you're doing on Twitch. So for someone who's thinking about attending one of your seminars, why don't you tell us what we can expect at the Nova Open and why someone should attend one of your events at the Nova Open?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I'll kind of touch on some of the classes I'm teaching first off. I'm going to be teaching a class for youth, teaching youth how to paint miniatures, to get the next generation more involved, get them excited for this, trying to make it as easy as I can for them. Because when I first started painting 20 some years ago, we didn't have all these resources on the internet. You hear these masters constantly talk about how this is the golden era of painting, and it really, truly is. I mean, between classes, YouTube, Twitch, all the resources available out there, just absolutely phenomenal. And what you see kids do from when they start to like 6 months is insane. That took me years of just, putzing around trying to figure that. So excited for that class. We'll be doing a 4-hour semi-private class with only 4 students in it. I'm really passionate a lot too about like getting the basics down and making sure we're doing the proper prep, assembly, washing the miniatures, these basic things we need to do to make sure when we do these paint jobs that they look really good. And so I'm going to be teaching a class called From Box to Primer, where it's just about when you open a box, what's the first steps, all the way to the point where we put primer on them before we even start really painting. So you get all your preliminary steps, down. That way your painting experience will be pleasurable and enjoyable. Over the years, I've really worked with developing my own style of painting, very loud and bright colors, but making sure they work and that they look proper on a miniature and stuff. And I really like the way I make miniatures pop. So I'm going to be teaching a class on how to paint colors that pop. I do a lot of alternative schemes because I really only get into the painting, so I never get into the lore. So for me, I always just approach these projects as in, I like what I'm looking at, what can I do with it, and I write my own kind of lore and story behind everything. And in turn, I get a lot of different color schemes that are very not box art. So I really want to instruct a class on how to choose non-box art color schemes, because it's very easy to kind of get trapped in that mindset of just painting what you know and what you're told to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, I like alternative color schemes a lot, just for my own sake, because I find it fun. I think, was that 6? I lost track at some point
I
there.
think so. That's a lot of classes. Like, it sounds like
Yeah.
you're
I,
covering a lot of material.
I threw out a lot of ideas and they took almost all of them.
I
So it's
think
like, I was
pretty
very,
much every one of them.
yeah. So I'm very, oh, I remember the last one. One of the other things that in order to make a living, it does have to be very efficient at painting miniatures, of being able to put down a very high quality paint job very quickly and efficiently. So I'm teaching a class on how to paint efficiently, so to make these armies and units and stuff a lot more enjoyable, so they move along a lot quicker, and having a game plan going into that, so you're not struggling halfway through and putzing out. Um,
That's really great. It sounds like you're covering a lot of different aspects of painting for a lot of different skill sets.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm trying to I try to look at what other classes are being offered a lot, and what can I offer different, and there's a lot of great masters out there already teaching non-metal metallics, and they're doing a fantastic job. One more person in that mix isn't going to help, and I could teach that, not exceptionally well. It's not one of my super strong points, but I can do it, and I'd enjoy teaching it. But there's already masters doing it way better than I can teach it, so I'll let them do that. enjoy the fact that that's there. And I'll hit on some other topics that I'm strong in. What are the things that I'm strong in? Because the other thing that I think is going to, that makes me a unique teacher is the fact that I have no artistic background whatsoever. Like, it doesn't run in my family. I didn't grow up doing it. Well, I mean, I did with miniature painting, but I had no artistic influence in my life whatsoever. Like, my family was very much sports, and that's about it. So
Okay.
for me, I kind of took this artistic thing, and in turn, I don't have that natural artistic, like, I don't want to say natural artistic ability. I can just paint miniatures well, because nobody has that. Like, you have to work at it, but some people have that artistic touch. I don't. Everything has to be a why and kind of a mathematical, scientific approach to it. And then I can appreciate the artistic side of it, because I understand what I'm doing. And if I don't understand the why and why I'm doing a certain thing or using a certain color or a certain technique, I can't do it. So for me, the how we do things never really benefited me. It was always the why are we doing this that benefited me. And then the hows were much easier for me, because like I always approach things in a very mathematical, kind of scientific kind of way. So I like to bring that to the classroom and explain to people, because I used to be a manager at a dealership, and I used to always teach my guys the why I want them to do things, because then they didn't have to remember it to just do it. They did it because they knew what the consequences were of if they did or didn't do what I asked them to.
Sure. I think that's such a cool thing to bring to the Nova Open for a lot of reasons. So getting to that core of the why behind, the different ways you're approaching painting and what you'll be teaching, I think is fantastic, especially when I think about the youth classes that you'll be teaching, because it is important to convey that to that next generation and really bring people up into this hobby in a way that they can appreciate, all those core tenets and things, and everything that makes this something special. But even going further than that, what's amazing about the Nova Open is there is this big why behind why we put this event on, and that is of course supporting the Nova Open Charitable
Oh,
Foundation.
absolutely. 100%.
Right, yeah, and so it's such a great thing to, I think, to hear you talk about that. And so for you, what's one of your favorite parts about getting to support the NOCF?
Oh man. I mean, when I first was asked to go to Nova Open, I just thought it was a convention. It was the first convention I'd ever been to, because I had painted by myself for 17 years prior to that. Like, I had no friends that did this stuff, and then met some people, and they're like, "You should come to the convention. You should paint something for a painting competition. You should go. You'll have a great time." I had no idea it was a charity. Like, I didn't know anything about it. I just knew my friends were driving me out there, and I was crashing with them. And then like I started talking to people there, and like I instantly made new family there. And like everyone I know that goes there says the same thing. It's, you're not making friends, you're making family, because it very is that
Absolutely.
again and again. And the way they brought me into that fold almost immediately, it was just insane. Like, just how quickly I've become part of this, and been doing more and more.
Mhm.
And for me, my absolute favorite part to be part of is the instructing is really a lot of fun. I love that so much. My favorite part is being able to paint for the actual charity raffle. That's my favorite part, because like Doctors Without Borders is the one I usually choose to support, because I love what they do so much, because it's so desperately needed, and they do such good work. I mean, all the charities do, but that's just one that's very near and dear to me for some reason.
Mhm.
But it's one of the things that I don't have the capacity to do what they do, so I use what I have the capacity to do what I do to help them any way I can.
Yeah, that's so cool. I love getting to hear that from people like yourself who, you run these businesses and you have these great ways you're contributing to the community. And then you're able to take what you're doing there and contribute to these amazing charities. So, can you tell us a little about what you're working on this year for the raffle?
I actually already finished it. It was
Okay.
something that I had when I'm painting, especially commission work and stuff like that, and armies and stuff. I always like to have things on my desk that I can just grab to have like a mental break from, that have no real point purpose, just something I wanted to paint, something I experiment with, do new techniques with. And I had something that I was working on for myself. And it's funny because I don't have a lot of attachment to these miniatures. I like the creation process. I'm a creator. I love the painting. And usually when I'm done, I go, okay, great. What do I do with this thing? Oh, I sell it. That's why I don't have any miniatures of my own, really. Like, I have unpainted stuff, I have projects, and then I have some that I painted for other people and stuff I just haven't sold yet. It's kind of how it works. Um, or miniatures I painted for my wife, I still have, of course, because they're hers. Um, but I was thinking about what to do, and then I had this Sisters of Battle that I did in purple. If you want, I can switch cameras real quick and show you.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, I was playing around with that here, just some of these different settings. I'm like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty easy to do here. So
Now, this is an
Switch it to,
exclusive sneak peek.
this is, see, I'm really bad at aiming in front of the camera there. Is
Oh,
that
that's
showing up, that showing up
awesome.
pretty clear there?
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, and this was one that I was just kind of playing around with, and it's funny because this is like one of only like really two miniatures that I look at and go, oh, now she's got to leave. I actually really kind of like this one. I wouldn't mind if she sat around forever.
Yeah,
But
seriously, that's so good.
which makes me more excited because I kind of look at that and go, yeah, in my mind, if I'm feeling this way about it, I really hope somebody else does too, and that they want to snatch it up. So
Yeah, that's going to be a hot ticket for sure.
yeah, I really hope so because it's like I'm one of those people like I go, okay, I'd like to know what's going to be really popular at the time, but the problem is it's so many months out and I have to turn it in rather soon here. So it's one of those things if I got to get pictures and get her shipped out there. But that's my entry there, and like I keep showing her off because I absolutely love that piece a lot, just
Awesome.
for a lot of reasons.
Well, thank you so much for that sneak preview. That is
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
I'm gonna have to put some raffle tickets in on that one for sure.
Awesome. That's like one thing, like I always show my friends and I'm like, oh, why, man? It's like, I know now I'm going to spend a bunch of money on this stuff. I'm like, good.
Exactly. Yes, that's perfect. You're an incredible supporter of the NOCF. So thank you so much for showing us,
Absolutely.
for telling us a bit about your story. Now, is there anywhere people should find you in the meantime between now and the Nova Open?
Sure. Yeah. Instagram.com with it // I don't know when it's slashes. You guys know what it is when you're typing it is Brush for Hire, spelled out BRUSHFORHIRE, all one word. Instagram is the place I usually post the most stuff. Actually on Twitch, I live stream Monday to Friday from like 7:30 in the morning Eastern time, usually to about 4:30 in the afternoon. So I'm usually streaming about 40 some hours a week, and pretty much everything I get commissioned, I stream painting live on camera. And people are always welcome to come and ask questions about techniques, what I'm working on, why I chose colors, how would I approach certain situations. I've had a lot of fun examples. I get to do live on camera for people that I would have never done myself, but just gave me new ways to think about things and stuff like that. So it's been a learning process for me too, which is very cool and a lot of fun. Facebook Brush for Hire, Twitter Brush for Hire. It's Brush for Hire, and pretty much anywhere you can type in Brush for Hire, you'll find me.
Thank you so much, Sean. It's been awesome
Absolutely.
to talk to you, and we'll see you at the Nova Open.